Hello, I am R. Kishore Kanna, Assistant Professor, Department of Biomedical Engineering, School of Bioengineering from Bharat Institute of Higher Education and Research. In this video, I am here to give lecture on pattern recognition and its classification from the course name called Neural Network and Pattern Recognition. Before going into pattern recognition and its classification, I want to convey what is pattern recognition. A patterns or a set of data which is being aligned or allied in the format of image or data or a set of sequence is known as pattern. A data or a input component which is being composed as a set is known as pattern. According to its properties, according to its assigning data, according to its properties, the data sequence will be acting as a open gate to identify that set of data sequence is known as pattern recognition. So pattern recognition is a part of artificial intelligence. It is a branch of artificial intelligence where it is being used as a gateway path to process or to handle a data or handle a module with some prior security and with some prior privacy to get being processed. So this is known as pattern recognition. In this video, I'm going to explain about what is pattern recognition, from which sequence it is being extracted, where it is being used, how it is being classified, in which sector it is being widely used will be explained in this video. And pattern recognition is being used widely in all applications where they task to identify the personality. For identification, for detection, for analysis, pattern recognition is being used. We are using QR code for transaction, and our fingerprints fingerprint for accessing the system or accessing the mobile, and our iris detection, face detection are the application which is being used in daily life in our mobiles and in our laptops, and having a password for our laptops and computers is also the process or a component of pattern recognition which is being extracted from the system. So for secure, for privacy, for identifying the individual with their properties is known as pattern recognition. It is being widely used in all sector of application for this efficiency and security. And in this video, we are going to see about the introduction of pattern recognition and how the patterns is being constructed, composed, and is being used in pattern recognition, and the system which is being used for detection and recognition and analysis will be seen in the topic called pattern recognition system. Introduction. As in this video starting itself, I have been told pattern recognition is the process which is being extracted from the branch called artificial intelligence. Pattern recognition is a branch of artificial intelligence, and it is used to recognize or detect or analyze according to the need and demands of the output. Humans can recognize the face without worrying about the varying illumination. Varying illumination means if any changes also happening in the individual space or property, human has the ability to detect or to verify or to recognize the individual. But the implementing such recognition artificially, it becomes very complex task. Same process or same recognition process of the human is being developed as an artificial module. It is being hard to recognize with some changes. So to avoid that cons, this Pattern recognition has been developed from the branch of artificial intelligence. The field of artificial intelligence has made this complex task possible. I already told pattern recognition is being taken from the artificial intelligence. So by using the artificial intelligence application, that recognition process, which is considered as a complex task, is being made possible by using our pattern recognition processing system. First one is pattern. Before going into the pattern recognition, before knowing about the pattern recognition, we have to know what is pattern. Pattern means it is a set of object, or it is considered as a sequence or phenomena, which will be considered as a concept where some elements of or some set of data which is having a same property or similar property to one another in certain way of aspects. Data, a set of sequence or set of phenomena having same property as their property is being considered as a pattern. Pattern is been considered as an entity that could be given a name, for example, fingerprint image, handwritten word that is known as signature or sign, and human face, and speech signal, voice recognition, and DNA sequence. These are the identity which can't be replaced or altered is being considered as pattern. To identify the individual by a set of sequence is being considered as a pattern. So for pattern, we have been given some example like fingerprint image, which can't be changed physically, but externally, if any changes can happen, it has the ability to recognize the pattern of fingerprint and handwritten word. Each and every individual will be having their unique way of written and written word. So it has been acting as the pattern for the recognition process. And human face, each individual has been having their own face structure, which has been unique and which can act as a set of object to be constructed as a pattern. And speech signal, same like a DNA sequence, which is a genetic process to find whether the pattern is being unique and can identify the individual without any error. This is known as pattern. Example are DNA sequence, fingerprint, structure. For example, nowadays QR code for online transaction. Many ways the pattern has been set. For example, QR code for transaction in a specified QR code. In that QR code or barcode, your account number or bank transaction details will be enloaded. The camera has the ability to acquire that image and analyze the account details which is being enhanced with that QR code, and the money will be transacted. That is a recent advancement which has been happened, and it also from the field of pattern recognition of the branch of artificial intelligence. Now we know what is pattern, how the pattern is been constructed, how it is being used as a key to recognize and identify the individual according to their properties. Now we are going to know about the procedure called pattern recognition. Pattern recognition is a procedure where processing, analyzing, and characterizing of the object or a phenomenon to provide the output with some description, identification, classification, interpretation for them is known as pattern recognition. That information which is being processed and analyzed to produce the output can be in numerical processing data, literal processing data, as well as logical processing data. So this is known as pattern recognition. Pattern recognition is a procedure where it will be processing the given input data, which can be numerical or literal or logical, and to produce the output with some description, identification, classification, and interruption with the given characteristic object is known as pattern recognition. And PPP is the working principle of pattern recognition. What is the PPP is? Perceive, process, predict, which is known as prediction. Perceive means it will be studying, it will be receiving the given input of data sequence, which is being considered as a set of patterns or set of sequence, and it will be processing the given data which is being observed by the environment from the perceives. And in this processing unit, it will be learning, and it will be finding the difference between the pattern of interest which is being given in the input as in perceive in the background, and prediction is considered as the output layer, where some sounds and reasonable decision will be taken according to the processed pattern. This is known as prediction. So working principle of pattern recognition procedure is PPP method, which is known as perceive, process, and prediction. By this methodology only, this procedure called pattern recognition is being processed to identify, to classify, to describe, or to provide the interruption of the given input set of patterns. So this is known as pattern recognition system. Pattern recognition system is being considered, or it is being it to be designed a model which will be involving this four main processing unit. If you're going to develop a system, or if you're going to develop a model with pattern recognition system as a working module for detection, for identification, for giving description and all, these are the four following steps will be performed by the pattern recognition system. What first one is data acquisition and pre-processing. Second one is data representation. Third one is feature extraction, and fourth one is decision making. Data acquisition and pre-processing unit will be acting as the input units in this pattern recognition system. Data representation and feature extraction will be considered as the processing units in this pattern recognition, and decision making unit, which is considered as a more vital and important unit to produce the output of this pattern recognition system, will be considered as the output unit. So data acquisition will be done to train, or to a set of data will be considered as an input, will be acquired by the data acquisition unit, and the data which is said to be processed to produce the output will be taken and acquired by the data acquisition unit, and it will be made ready to be processed. Some filtration, some alignments, some arrangements of a given of a acquired input data will be happening in pre-processing unit. So data acquisition unit will be acquiring the what are the set of inputs which is being given as a if it's been given for the processing, will be acquired completely by data acquisition unit. After acquiring, it will be made ready to be processed. That process, that function will be taken care by the pre-processing unit. Once it is being prepared for the processing, it will be given to the data representation unit, where the processing of the given input data will be started and initiated, where it will be analyzing, acquiring, distinguishing the difference between the set of data which has been acquired by the data acquisition system, and it will be aligning according to its property, and the process will be continued till the representative of the given data is being represented. Once it is being that once it is being represented, it will be given to the feature extraction unit, where it will be extracting the given inputs feature accurately without any error. And after the extraction of feature of each input which is being acquired by the data acquisition system, output will be produced. That output will be produced by the decision making unit, which will be taking the decision to produce which data as the output. So according to the construction and building of this system, according to their programming, that decision making system will be deciding which processed data should be declared as output. So once the process data is being selected by the decision making system, output will be produced. This is known as pattern recognition systems working. So we are developing a model with some pattern recognition system. This much following process is being aligned according to data acquisition, pre-processing, data representation, feature extraction, and the output unit called decision making. These are the following steps is being processed inside the pattern recognition system, which is being induced in the models which is yet to be developed. Okay, in this flow chart, they are being telling about the process which has been happening inside the unit of following steps in pattern recognition. Input will be given and it will be sensing the what kind of data, and in this flow chart it is being telling the flow of the pattern recognition process. First, it will be input will be acquired and it will be sensed and it will be segmented. That means aligned according to the processing of the given input data, which has been acquired as a data acquisition, and it will be processed. While the process has been happening, feature extraction will be finding the representation of the each data which has been acquired, and it will be given to the classification. Classification will be assigning the pattern to the category where it is being extracted from its feature, and post processing will be evaluating how the decision yet to be produced or decision yet to be released will be processed in the post processing unit, and the decision which is known as output will be produced. So data acquisition and sensing will be processing with the measurement of physical variables which is being given. Input data will be recorded and noted, and it has the issues like bandwidth and resolution is some kind of property which can't be accepted, or bandwidth and resolution, etc. These are the parameters where it has some issues to acquire or acquisition process is being done. And pre-processing unit, which is known as making the data to prepare for the processing, is known as pre-processing. Removal of unwanted noise or removal of noise from data, and removal of or extraction of isolation of patterns which is being aligned with the background will be removed. Feature extraction is known as processing unit, which will be featuring new representation for the given data will be done. And classification, we people already know, it will be uh, processing, and it will be using the feature which has been extracted in feature extraction, and it will be assigning some pattern to the each category which is been yet to be processed. And post processing is been evaluation of producing the output before the decision making announces its decision to produce the output. These are the pattern recognition process, and this is the flow how the process is being done inside the pattern recognition system. And this is known as a pattern recognition model. And statistical model, synaptical model, template matching model, neural network model are the types of model inside the pattern recognition model. According to the need and demands of the modeling, this one of this model which suits that the process will be chosen. Statistical model is known as a pattern recognition system, are based on the statisticals and probability units. And synaptic model is known as a structural model for pattern recognition system, which is being composed according to its structure, and based on the relation between the feature of the structure, it is being producing the patterns represented by the structure. That is known as synaptical model. Template matching means it is a prototype model where a template or a pattern will be recognized according to its template properties and features. That is known as template matching. Once the template's properties been matching with the input data property, it will be recognizing the given input data. Then neural network model is known as ANN. ANN, artificial neural network, is known as neural network model. It is a self-adaptive training process. It has the ability of self-adaptive training, where it can learn and start to resolve the complex problem based on according to their training knowledge. So these are the pattern recognition model which has been widely used according to the need and demands of the developing modeling. This pattern recognition model is being selected according to the results of the output. Pattern class. After knowing about pattern, after knowing about the processing of pattern recognition, after knowing about the models which has been existing in pattern recognition, now we are coming for the pattern class. Pattern class is a set of pattern which has been sharing the similar object or common attributes as its properties. A collection of similar, that is that not necessary to be same or identical. It has the property with similar object will be considered as the pattern class. During the recognition process, given object will be as assigned with some prescribed classes, that is known as patterning classes. Uh, Components with same common attributes will be classified into set of patterns, that is known as pattern classes. Classification, how the classification has been done. First it will be learning about structure like shapes, and after learning about shapes, color will be learned, and the output will be produced by recognizing the color and shapes. Output will be produced and it will be used to classify or verify or identify or describe the unknown processed area. This is known as supervised learning. Identification or processing or classification is being done by using the training sets to learn the shape and color and texture of the given input. Unknown data is known as supervised learning or supervised training. That is known as supervised learning or learning rule in the classification of neural network and pattern recognition. Unsupervised means unlabeled training data will be used for measuring the similarity in that set of sequence is known as unsupervised training. Supervised training means adjusting the components or adjusting the weights of the neural network to produce the correct output is known as supervised training or learning process. Unsupervised means adjusting the output according to the properties of network or according to the properties of unlabeled training set is known as unsupervised training and learning. And these are the classification, and these are the learning rule which is being composed and which is being taken over by the neural network and pattern recognition process to identify and to extract the of uh, amount of um, amount of identification and processing unit to be done correctly. For example, this pattern recognition is being widely used in all applications: telecommunication, communication, telemedicine, industrial uses, then chemical uses. According to its properties and according to its working methodology, this pattern recognition is being used in their relevant fields. And according to the needs of the user, this statistical model is being decided. When the process or when the training or when the given task is being completely based upon the components and completely based upon the number of data yet to be processed or yet to be identified, they will be choosing the statistical model. Statistical model will be completely analyzing and detecting, which is being completely based on the statistics and probabilities. According to the rules of statistics and probabilities, a model is being developed and it is being constructed for recognition system is known as statistical model. Synaptical model is being completely composed with size and shapes and colors. When the size and shapes and colors of the unknown input data is being matched or it is being identified as identical or similar with the object of shapes and structure, they will be identified or they will be recognized. That is known as synaptical model. And template matching model means reference or feeded data which has some templates or some signs or some amount of parameters in it, when the given unknown input data is being satisfying and it is being uh, similar to the reference data, that will be matching. That is known as template matching model, and it is mainly used for recognition process only. And it is been considered as a prototype pattern. Why? Because already the parameters which yet to be matched, which yet to be similar, will be loaded as a reference data inside the template matching model. And next one is neural network model. As I said before, it is a widely used parameter model which has been considered as ANN, artificial neural network, a neural network which is being developed and constructed to play the role of biological neural network if any collapse is being done, which is being built artificially for the for replacing the biological neural network is known as artificial neural network, which is being considered as a neural network model. And what is the ability of a neural network model to replace BNN is it has self-adaptive training process. It can adapt according to the change which is being occur due to the surroundings or internal processing change. It has the ability to learn the change which is being occurred and resolve the errors and complex and problems occurring in the network and produce the output according to its trained knowledge or according to its trainable knowledge is known as neural network model. So these are the model, these are the patterns, these are the class is being used under the pattern recognition model to identify, to to detect, to give description for the unknown data to be known data for recognizing process. So this is known as pattern recognition and its model and its types and its processing unit inside the pattern recognition. So in this video, I got the opportunity to convey the user's ultimate aim, how it has been constructed, how it is being classified according to the needs and demands of the pattern recognition. Thank you.